Hi guys, it's October 1st, 2012 at 11:10 a.m. Might as well say 11:11. I've been out of touch ever since I left Arizona and been on the road, and I haven't had good internet connection along the way and hadn't really had the time in these travels to sit down and take a look at what all's going on and try to relate my opinions on it. And last night I finally got back to the Tampa area from where I was up in the Dunellen area. I'm actually in Dunedin area right now, and as I did, I had a chance to keep up with what's going on with Greg Giles, and that's what I want to discuss here. It's kind of interesting having watched him and so many others just materialize here in 2012 and start getting into the forefront of things, and even by his own statements in his latest messages where he's speaking against other channelers, saying that it does not really exist. It's mind control, and he himself has been mind controlled. He states he's only been awakened and doing channelings for about 18 months now, and I've gotten to watch his progress. And I used to post a lot of his work when he first started, and that started shifting for me when it didn't resonate back in April and May of 2012. And he started getting very negative and telling people that they needed to move away from the shorelines. I did see and feel that his so-called channeled messages were based out of ego and him being in his head and not in his heart. And that's really what I want to speak about here, because he is telling the world now that everyone receiving channeled messages are being manipulated by mind control, and it's really brain control that he's talking about. And that's where I have issues with him. For many of you who have been following my work for many years know that I teach Ascension Mastery, and Ascension Mastery initiates the move of the consciousness, the mind, from the brain in duality, negativity, plurality, male, female, good and bad, light, dark, heaven, hell, all that sort of stuff. The duality game, light, dark, that's played out in the head. And when you think I'm light and they're dark, you are really playing in that duality game. That's of the brain, that's not of the heart. I teach shifting the consciousness into the heart, activating the heart chakra, and beginning the path of Ascension Mastery. And when you shift your consciousness into your heart, an electromagnetic field known as your Merkaba, which is your light body containment, that activates. And that electromagnetic field emanates from the heart. It's about 50,000 times more powerful than the electromagnetic field created by the brain prior to activation. Your brain increases also as you activate your crown chakra and your throat chakra and your third eye chakra. The wiring connections gets rewired when that happens, and when those wiring connections get rewired, there is a lessening of the duality and plurality of the brain. The right and left brain begins a reemergence, and it loses its separation and duality. And it's a long process that begins when you learn to shift into the heart and you activate that heart chakra. Greg speaks of radio waves as being the reason for the mind control or the brain control that was occurring within himself. And he also states that channels will begin receiving similar messages as they go through because they are being manipulated by these radio waves. I beg to differ, Greg, and to anybody who truly understands what's going on. Tuning into channeled messages and tuning into your chakras is like tuning into various radio and television stations. You're just turning the dial, and once you hit an adjustment where you've got a clear message coming in, and it's something that you resonate with, or it could be from your higher self, it could be from other entities, and truly you are part of the whole thing. You are everything. You're just a fragment having this experience, and the more you grow in consciousness and the more you activate your light body and go through your initiation process, because Ascension Mastery initiations is only various expansions of the light body. As you activate the various chakras and you get through the higher chakra downloads and you expand your light body, you have various dimensional consciousness concepts. Your rewiring in that brain starts changing, and you see things, you view things in a different way. You have totally different perceptions. And when you take your 7th initiation and higher, and you activate all the 7 initial chakras and have your higher chakra downloads, what happens is, as you start attuning to all those various dimensional awarenesses and start realizing that you create your own reality, and you do it via these chakras, and that's how the illusion works that comes into your life, that you experience as life. When you begin this understanding, you're stepping into 6th dimensional living, conscious living, and your thought process becomes spherical. When you were 3D, you were focused on point A to point B, kind of like a predator prey and or sniper, and all you can see is that what you want, that what you need, and how to go get that in your life with your hands and your brain. And 4th dimensional concepts is having similar situations as that 3D, but on multiple levels linearly, and realizing a connection which is about 45-degree angle to the 5th dimensional consciousness, which is vertical. When an individual has that 4D perceptions, they have transitioned from life is something that just happens to them to a consciousness level that they have a participation in this. That's why many of the dark side and the Illuminati do rituals, because they realize that our thoughts manifest our reality. But without activating the heart chakra, which you have to lose that negativity to get into that heart, you have to lose so much of the karma to be able to get in your heart and activate that heart chakra and anchor it and make it permanent, that shift of the consciousness from the head of the heart. When you do that, you have to lose the negativity, and you have to do that out of love. And that's why the Illuminati and the dark side and many of these various ETs that are playing the polarity games that aren't 5th dimensional, that are the lower vibrational ETs, they're the very technologically based ETs. That's exactly why they are 4D and they can't get into the heart. And by not getting into their heart, they can only manipulate things out of technology. They're not actually mastering it. And when you do that, your power is limited. And so you have to come together in rituals. And that's what Bohemian Grove and a lot of these wars that we have going on in the events like 9/11 or 7/77 or all these different, or Fukushima on 3/11. The Illuminati know the various power dates for the rituals, just like those of us who are in the lighter consciousness playing that opposite side of duality also does. We understand the numerology and the power dates and stuff like that. And so the Illuminati come together and have their rituals, have a 9/11 where they kill, 2,000 plus people, and that's their sacrifice, which gives the power to the ritual. Now, in Ascended Mastery, you are gaining your power by the activation of your chakras, and that is your light potentiality. And the more chakras and higher chakra downloads that you go through in your Ascension Mastery process, the more chakras you initiate and expand, the higher your light quotient is, and the faster the frequency that you hold within your being is. And the light quotient is the raw energy which allows your manifestations to occur readily. How fast they occur depends on the vibration that you hold. And the vibration that you hold is the ascension. The more you increase your vibration, the more you are ascending. And you can fall, you can raise and lower in that ascension process. We do it all the time. Now, what Greg was saying is that he is being mind controlled, which is really brain controlled by radio waves. And that is exactly what HAARP, the High Altitude Auroral Research Program, was all about. Initially back in the 1980s when I first started hearing about HAARP, it was being designed for mind control and manipulation of armies on the battlefield. And now this goes back into what Greg was saying about being attacked. And I do believe he very possibly is being attacked. It cannot happen if you are heart chakra activated. When you are in your heart, you have no mind-brain chatter. You feel life. You feel what it is that is in the energy fields around you, and you're not thinking it, you're not perceiving it out of the brain, you're feeling it from the heart. And the brain is actually controlled by the heart. The heart tells the brain, the image that it's wanting to see, and then the brain deciphers it and tries to describe it with words, and then it goes out the mouth, with the throat chakra and out the mouth in a certain way to give it to the world. Basically, same thing that I'm doing here. And when you are fully activated in your heart, you don't have the mind control because you don't have that brain chatter. You don't have the mind trying to think about things all the time. You're in a process of feeling everything. And that's the difference with what Greg's saying. Now, back to the channelers, the reason why we have such similar messages is because we are attuning to various frequencies on an equal level, because at that moment when we're channeling a similar message, we are vibrating at the same level that the other that is giving a similar message is. We're just putting various words to it in different ways. That's unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is the next level up from the duality game, from the polarity game, from the light, dark, good, bad, heaven, hell. You are all that is, and what you're doing is you're centering your focus because you have been light and you have been dark, and you are bringing that in acceptance that you are both light and dark to the center balance, and you live in the unity consciousness. And that is the point that's being missed here. The unity consciousness is the highest level of ascension that we're going to obtain here, stepping out of the 3 and 4D. It is, unity consciousness is more of a 6th dimensional perception than in a 5th dimensional perception. 5D, you've got to shift into your heart, but your thinking is still in a vertical, linear way. 6D, you understand how to utilize your chakras and that you're mastering your illusion and that you're connected to all that is. And that is a spherical or non-linear perception, very much like Dr. Stephen Greer speaks about and how to call the ETs here. Well, anyway, we're coming up to this video in just a little bit. I wanted to say, Greg, you actually helped me out here because I was being attacked a bit on the astral level, and I was feeling it on the outside of my energy field. And you kicked my butt and set me straight and went, I can discard all that. And so anyway, I thank you, Greg. Namaste. Bye for now.